It's Friday, August 9. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. The new electronic business registration form, the EBRF, will lead to long-term cost savings for the country. That from Teresa Turner-Jones, General Manager, Country Department Caribbean Group at the Inter-American Development Bank. Addressing the launch on Wednesday at the Jamaica Pegasus in Kingston, she referenced recent regional surveys on levels of digital interaction between citizens and the government.
In Jamaica, people surveyed, only 4% of all interactions of the folks studied in this report were able to get onto a government service through a digital transaction. 4%. It's a very low number. The highest number, however, in the region, including all of Latin America, was Barbados with 17%, and Nicaragua lagging with only 1%. But certainly a country like Jamaica could do better than 4%. So what are the consequences of these numbers, and why do we want to make things digital and improve electronic interaction between citizens and governments? There are a whole host of reasons, and a lot have already been said, but it's mostly about accessing benefits in a different way and to make sure that those benefits get to where they ought to be. But another important reason, too, is costs. So when we looked at developed countries around the world, for example, in the UK, in-person transactions cost about $15 on average, whereas a digital one costs about 40 cents. And a country like Mexico, which is probably a little more comparable to Jamaica, that number is $9 for physical interaction versus about 45 cents for a digital one. So we know that there are lots of benefits, and that, by the way, those costs are borne by taxpayers. So imagine if we can liberate even more resources to do the health infrastructure we need, or the education infrastructure, or the housing infrastructure that Jamaica needs. So that's what we can put those resources to.
Company's Office of Jamaica's CEO, Judith Ramlogan, said that the initiative is expected to make it easier for entrepreneurs, particularly those outside of Kingston, to register business names and companies.
Investment is important to Jamaica, and as such, priority must be given to the expansion of the formal sector. It is therefore against this background that the electronic business registration form will facilitate the registration of business names and companies from anywhere in the world at any time. As a major contributor to Jamaica's ranking in relation to the Starting a Business indicator on the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business survey, the company's office prides itself on being a part of initiatives that will improve the country's ranking. At present, Jamaica is ranked at number 6 in relation to the ease of starting a business. This is significant, as it is a testament that the government takes business seriously and is committed to making continuous improvements to allow for greater efficiency. Ranked at number 6 means that Jamaica has been outpacing several countries that are more developed and have access to greater resources. It is something that we can all be proud of.
The electronic application process for registering business names and companies comes 5 years after the Company's Office launched the Super Form, which was said to have transformed the way businesses were registered by creating a one-stop shop for entrepreneurs. The Super Form is believed to be the major contributor to Jamaica's rank of 5th position in the 2018 Ease of Starting Business Index. Ms. Ramlogan said overall the Super Form has facilitated the registration of approximately 50,000 businesses and 14,000 companies. The registration of business names accounts for 77% of the registration transactions. According to Ramlogan, the other electronic forms will be rolled out in the next phase of COJ's modernization process, including those used for the filing of annual returns. The EBRF is being implemented with funding from the Inter-American Development Bank. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has reiterated that the government is sensitive to the environmental concerns about the Cockpit country and is moving to ensure that it is protected. Prime Minister Holness made the announcement on August 6 at the Denby Agricultural and Industrial Food Show in Clarendon. In that regard, the Prime Minister underscored that in seeking to protect the Cockpit country, the government examined the unique geographical feature of the Cockpit country, the forest, and its biodiversity. The government also took into consideration the hydrology of the area examined, the water that flows in and out of the area, along with the sinkholes, caves, and other areas through which water seeps underground to create the largest water bank of the island. According to the Prime Minister, in addition to the environmental sensitivities around the Cockpit country, the government is fully cognizant of the historic and cultural value of the area. In that regard, he emphasized that he hears the concerns about the preservation of those areas in and around the Cockpit country. He also underscored that several forms of environmentally damaging practices will also be prohibited. Disaster Coordinator for St. James, Tamoy Sinclair, says that the plastic ban should minimize the impact of flooding in Montego Bay. Ms. Sinclair was addressing the Jamaica Information Service think tank session, which was held at the St. James Municipal Corporation in Montego Bay recently.
Montego Bay is prone to flooding primarily because of plastic waste within our drains. So the elimination of plastic itself, or reducing the quantities that is actually going in the drain, will significantly transform the impacts of these flood events in the city.
The plastic ban, which was imposed by the government on January 1, 2019, covers the importation, manufacture, distribution, and use of plastic materials. The bags banned are those commonly referred to as scandal bags and others with dimensions of 24 inches by 24 inches or less. Ms. Sinclair says approximately $23 million has been allocated for disaster preparedness in the parish of St. James for 2019-2020 fiscal year. And she gave a further breakdown as it relates to drain cleaning.
Through the Roads and Works Department, some allocations is generally made primarily in the month of May and again in September, where the various divisions are provided with approximately $700,000 each to do advanced drain cleaning activities for the critical drains. So the allocation for May has already been paid out and drain cleaning exercises have taken place. However, for the September period, that has not yet been done because we are not yet in September. But it is done for the peak of the hurricane season. We know that's September. So it is something that is continuous and it is ongoing.
Ms. Sinclair also noted that as part of the disaster preparations, special attention has been given to shelters across the parish.
Currently, we have updated our shelter managers list and our shelter listing. So they've been inspected by the Fire Department, the Ministry of Health, the Roads and Works Department, and of course the Disaster Management Department. The shelters are up to date, they are fine. There are some shelters that were not deemed suitable, and so alternatives were selected, and that is common, but the shelters are ready for the hurricane season. How many shelters do we have in St. James? We have 63 shelters.
Ms. Sinclair noted that the resources for the emergency shelters are provided by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, the Jamaica Red Cross, Food for the Poor, as well as the Salvation Army. The Transport Ministry says it has made submission to Cabinet geared towards integrating more technology in its analysis of traffic patterns across the country. Permanent Secretary in the Transport Ministry, Dr. Alwyn Hales, says electronic monitoring should increase enforcement, especially when treating with taxi operators. He was speaking at the Caribbean Road Safety Workshop hosted by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. The workshop was supported by the United Nations Secretary General's Special Envoy for Road Safety. The latest statistics from the Road Safety Unit in Jamaica's Transport Ministry shows 269 people have died on the nation's roads so far this year. permanent secretary in that ministry, says the government is doing something to remedy the carnage on the nation's streets. Dr. Wayne Wesley is now the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC. His tenure became effective August 1. Dr. Wesley, a Jamaican, took over from former Registrar Glenroy Cumberbatch, who retired at the end of July. Wesley joined CXC in June 2018 as Director of Operations, Examination Services. Prior to joining CXC, Wesley led the Human Employment and Resource Training Trust, National Training Agency, Hard Trust NTA in Jamaica. During his professional career, he has served at the University of Technology, Jamaica, and his time there culminated in his promotion and appointment to the academic rank of Senior Lecturer and Program Director for the Industrial Engineering Program. Dancehall artist Shaggy is set to star in the TV makeover of The Little Mermaid. Shaggy has been tipped for the role of Sebastian, joining legendary rapper and actress Queen Latifah playing Ursula. Performed in front of a live studio audience, the wonderful world of Disney, The Little Mermaid, will be incorporating sets from the Broadway version of the show, as well as costumes plus music from the original film. The event, which will air in November on ABC, is different from the live-action film remake currently in production. That film will star Hailey Bailey as Ariel. The US dollar on Thursday, August 8, ended trading at Jamaican $135.48, down by 24 cents. And that's according to the Bank of Jamaica's daily foreign exchange trading summary. The summary also stated that the Canadian dollar ended trading at Jamaican $102.23, up from $101.88, while the British pound sterling ended trading at Jamaican $164.34, down from $165.09. Now for a look at this week's palette journey on Culinary Trails. Hi guys, so it's evening out and I'm meeting up with my bestie Anna. We decided to try cuisine from a different culture. So we're taking a trip to Japan. We're right here at East Japanese. Come on guys, I'm already late. Hi.
Dining for two?
Yes, I'm here to meet my friend Anna.
Okay, this way.
All right, thank you. Anna, baby! Ah, you're finally here. You took so long. I'm so sorry to be late, but this restaurant is so nice. I like the fact you can dine outside, or you can come here and do demos.
Right, and there's somewhere behind there too.
Yes, I want to go over there, but let's see what they're going to make for us right here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. How was the traffic? The traffic was good coming up here? Really? All right, all of this looks so yummy. What are you looking at? Yeah. Oh, look at this barbecue beef roll. That's nice. Cooked sea eel with cucumber, avocado, eggs, flying fish roll, fish cake, and steamed shrimp. That looks yummy. Here, and Anna is going to graciously teach me how to use chopsticks, because in Japan this is what they used to eat. So instruct away.
Okay, so you need your thumbs and your index to be on the first finger.
Like this?
Right. And as long as you can have the tips touching, you nailed it.
Wait, let me put my thing.
Right. So just once you can do this, that means you can pick up the food.
All right, let me try.
Dessert was delicious strawberry cheesecake and a deep-fried banana cake with ice cream. East Japanese is located at Marketplace in St. Andrew. The owner, Taka, visited Jamaica in 1989 and loved our music and culture. By 2001, he was working here and opened his first restaurant a few years later.
Opened the restaurant in 2004.
Where was it? Where was the
At
first
the
one?
Marketplace.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
this is the first one.
Yes, this is the first one.
But I understand that you have more than one
Right now,
Japanese
five
now.
different kind of place. Yes.
Wow.
Noodle shop and lounge bar. Name is East Next Door. We keep every Friday, keep like a very interesting retro party at the 11 o'clock to in the night, 3 a.m. Yes.
Wow, wow.
And okay, lounge restaurant is up Stony Hill side. Name is Majestic Sushi and Grill.
Oh, I've heard about Majestic
You know that?
Sushi and
Yeah.
Grill.
And mid over Kingston, at the near the King's House.
Okay.
Name is Annex East Japanese.
Wow.
Yes.
The menu was done with Jamaican and American taste in mind, but it's still based in Asian roots.
Which one on the menu would you say is authentic Japanese recipe, a dish?
Meaning like
Real Japanese dish.
Oh,
Which one on
real.
your menu would you say is a real Japanese dish?
very simply, but like assorted sushi platter also, and like teriyaki chicken also, and like a fried shrimp tempura also. That's a traditional style. Yes.
Well, I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm interested Oceanside also. I want to open the restaurant. Yeah.
So you're going downtown?
No, not now, but I want. I hope.
Dream big,
I
dream
wish.
big, dream big. Anna, I knew I'd find you up here. What are you looking at?
These are candy.
Oh, these are so cute.
I've never seen this anywhere but in here.
Ooh, cookies filled with strawberry cream. Okay, I say we get 2 of these to go. Are you ready to go?
No.
I know, it's so much fun, but we can always come back next week. How's about that? All right, so let's get it. In regional news, a government minister has been arrested in Trinidad and Tobago for corruption. Minister of Public Administration Marlene MacDonald and her husband were detained on Thursday morning at their St. Joseph residence.
The arrest came after a search warrant was executed at the couple's Maracas Valley St. Joseph home around 4 a.m. In a brief statement confirming the execution of the warrant, newly appointed Communications Minister Donna Cox said further information would be provided to the public as it is made available by police. And the police subsequently released a statement saying that inquiries were ongoing.
Guyana's President David Granger has advised opposition leader Brat Jagdeo that neither he nor his cabinet will resign. Jagdeo had made the request 3 weeks ago, asking Granger to issue a proclamation to dissolve Parliament and to fix a date for the next general election. We have more in this report.
Of consequential orders by the Caribbean Court of Justice state that government remains in office until general and regional elections are held. But while this is public knowledge, the opposition leader has been calling on the president and his cabinet to resign. He has sent a letter to the head of state in this regard. On Wednesday, Director General Joseph Harmon was asked about the president's response. Harmon said the president was advised by the Attorney General against such a request.
Well, the AG has provided his advice to the president, and the president has responded to the leader of the opposition. In general terms, what the information is that the president has advised the leader of the opposition that he or his cabinet will not be resigning, and that the Constitution provides for the president and government to remain in office until such time that a new government, a new president is sworn in.
Mr. Harman was also asked about the dissolution of Parliament. He said such a matter rests with the President.
The present dissolution of Parliament has to, of course, do with advice which he receives from the Elections Commission about their readiness to conduct elections and to conduct credible elections. So a question of a date for elections and the dissolution of Parliament is based primarily on the readiness of GCOM.
The National Assembly will go into recess from August 10 to October 10.
In the meantime, Guyana's President David Granger has dismissed reports that elections will be held in December.
Though the chairman of GCOM, Justice Retired Claudette Singh, was only appointed 10 days ago and has not yet met with the full commission, President David Granger said the meeting was necessary to assure the chairman that the government will not intervene in the work of the commission.
Although it is early in the tenure of the new chairman, I don't think it was inappropriate to meet at this time to give her the assurance that the government is going to continue to observe the independence of the Elections Commission. It will not dictate, it will not interfere, it will not intrude in the work of the Commission. It will observe all of the roles and responsibilities of the Commission given to it by the Constitution.
However, opposition-nominated Commissioner of GCOM, Says Gunraj, told the media that the meeting was premature, given that the High Court is set to rule on the constitutionality of the controversial house-to-house registration exercise on August 14th. The chairman of GCOM has set her first meeting with the full commission on August 15th after the ruling of the High Court.
As I dare say that this meeting was premature, it's something that is acknowledged by His Excellency, because we're awaiting a decision from the courts in relation to the conduct of the house-to-house exercise, as well as we're waiting a full meeting of the commission. So, like I reiterate, this is just a waste of time.
Meanwhile, government-nominated Commissioner Vincent Alexander believes the meeting provided an opportunity for the chairman to give an idea of her position since her appointment on July 29th.
Government would not know what's happening in the belly of GCOM, and therefore she's been appointed, provide her an opportunity to indicate whether they're ready to communicate, they're waiting to communicate, or what the case might be. So in that sense, I wouldn't say it's a waste of time.
President David Granger says he is awaiting advice from GCOM to set a date for elections. He has dismissed reports that elections will be in December 2019. The head of state is set to meet with the leader of the opposition, Barra Jagdeo, on Friday.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, one of the few Caribbean countries that does not support the One China policy, recently opened an embassy in Taiwan, with Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves saying the move is a, quote, manifestation of the process of maturation of the excellent relations, quote, end quote, between both countries. Gonsalves told the opening ceremony, which took place on his birthday and Chinese Father's Day, that he expects that the embassy will contribute to a further strengthening of relations. St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Taiwan established diplomatic relations back in 1981, and Taipei has had an embassy in Kingstown for 2 decades, although it had a mission here for 38 years. In sports, we go trackside as Shericka Jackson won her first 400-meter event yesterday, taking the Pan American Games gold medal with a majestic run in the final in Lima, Peru, as Jamaica added another 6 medals to their tally. Jackson, who had won bronze medals in the one-lap event at the IAAF World Championships in Beijing, China in 2015 and the Rio Olympics a year later, won Jamaica's 4th gold medal in track and field at the Pan American Games. first-time national champions Lemish Gay in the men's 400 meters and Rochelle Clayton in the women's 400 meters hurdles won silver medals, while high jumper Kimberly Williamson, sprint hurdler Megan Simmons, and intermediate hurdler Kamara Mott added bronze medals. And that's the news on PBCJ. Thank you so much for watching.